Well, good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone, and good evening, everyone. Welcome to Verified Unlocking Seamless Digital Credential Management webinar. I am Arda, CEO at Sertifier, and it's my pleasure to host today's groundbreaking event. We are thrilled to have each of you join us on this exciting journey into the future of digital credentials and career management. Today, we are embarking on a comprehensive exploration on how digital credentials are transforming the professional landscape. Our agenda is packed with full of insightful discussions and demonstrations designed to give you a true understanding of the revolutionary tools and technologies reshaping credential management. We will kick off with part one, where I will provide an introduction to Sertifier and the purpose of this webinar. Following that, we will delve into the heart of today's topic with Dror from the Velocity Network Foundation, respectfully. So Dror will enlighten us on the universal sharing, verification, and the pivotal role of credentials in hiring and onboarding processes. This segment promises to be an eye-opener on the potential and power of digital credentials. And to make the session as interactive and engaging as possible, we will have a Q&A session and a fireside chat session. And here we will discuss the topics covered and answer any questions you might have. So feel free to jot down your questions as we go along. You can always use the Q&A section to send your questions. In part two, we will shift our focus to the Verified Wallet, our innovative digital credential wallet. I will guide you through its features, demonstrating how it simplifies the management and verification of credentials. You will discover how Verified Wallet empowers individuals and organizations alike, streamlining the process of showcasing qualifications and fostering trust in the credentials we rely on. We are set to embark on an informative and exciting journey today. So without further ado, let's dive into the world of digital credentialing and discover how Sertifier, in collaboration with Velocity Network, is paving the way for a more connected and verifiable future. Let's get started. As we move forward, it's my privilege to introduce a key figure in the world of digital credentials, Dror. Dror is a visionary leader and a driving force at the Velocity Network Foundation. Dror's work with the Velocity Network Foundation is at the forefront of innovation in credential verification and sharing. Under his leadership, the foundation is redefining how career credentials are managed and utilized across the global labor market. Today, Dror will share with us the solutions that the Velocity Network offers to the challenges in the credentialing landscape, and he will delve into the universal sharing of credentials and their verification process and the critical role these credentials play in hiring and onboarding, all through the lens of Velocity Network. Dror's presentation promises to be enlightening, offering us a glimpse into the future where credentials are seamlessly integrated into our professional lives. So without further ado, let's give a warm welcome to Dror. Dror, welcome, and thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you for having the time. And let me yield the floor to you directly to hear your presentation about Velocity Network and its efforts.
So after this introduction, it's very hard to fulfill all the promises, but I will definitely try. So as Arda said, my name is Dror Gurevich. I'm the founder and CEO of the Velocity Network Foundation. And I'm here to tell you or to describe the job market revolution you probably never heard of. In a minute, I'll explain what Velocity Network is, what Velocity Network Foundation is, and the work that we're doing. But before that, I want to start with articulating the problem that we're trying to solve. And I would be bold to say that the credentials you've been issuing thus far to your students or to your constituents had little to no utility value for them. And the reason for that is because of the interoperability and portability challenges that credentialing faces in today's digital world. If you look at an individual, in order for them to curate their entire records and career credentials just to represent their reputation and qualifications across the job market, they would need to engage with multiple primary sources, multiple issuers of credentials like yourselves, from their past employers, their schools, their license issuers, their certification issuers, and so on and so forth. And the current situation is that all these primary sources use different technologies to issue credentials, use different standards, use different formats, and none of these are speaking with each other. So when an individual will be looking to curate their career credentials in order to access better opportunities across the job market and prove their qualifications when they're needed to prove those qualifications, currently, they don't have a way to do it, right? And if you track the value of the credentials that you've been issuing thus far, someone has those credentials, but when they want to try and share it with an employer or with a background screener or with a recruiter to really fulfill the utility promise that these credentials have, those probably use different systems than the one used by the issuers and have no way to really process and make sense of these credentials. So we're living in a world where we're issuing digital credentials, but essentially these are almost useless, and employers and recruiters resort to what we know as resumes and LinkedIn profiles that then get checked and verified through manual processes of procuring data from siloed sources to verify the credentials of the individuals, making phone calls, and so on and so forth. And it's the fragmented nature of the education and job market that drives that monumental challenge of global scale interoperability and portability, not to talk about compliance. The world of work has been incredibly fragmented, has gone to be incredibly global. And to describe myself in a trusted way through digital credentialing, through digital certifications, coming from the primary sources that can attest to my skills and my qualifications, I just don't have a way to do it right now, right? So Velocity Network and the Velocity Network Foundation represent the most ambitious collaborative endeavor ever undertaken by labor market stakeholders. Okay, we are a nonprofit organization that hosts the most influential stakeholders across the job and education markets. 85 members are now part of the organization. Amongst them, mostly software vendors to the worlds of work and education, like SAP and Cornerstone and Aon and Oracle and Randstad and so on and so forth. But also industry associations representing large stakeholders groups from across the job market, from ACE, the American Council on Education, that represent the entire post-secondary education system in the US, ACRO, that represent the registrars in the higher education space in the US, SHRM, that represent it's the Global Professional Association of the HR practice, the World Employment Confederation, that is the global industry association of the staffing industry, International Organization of Employers that represents employers in International Labor Organization and UN and G20 labor market policy discussions and so on and so forth. So essentially it's the industry coming together to try and solve that portability and interoperability challenge for the benefit of both individuals and employers, recruiters, universities, training providers, and so on and so forth. The mission that the organization has taken upon itself is to empower individuals by giving them control over their career records while establishing a globally accessible, open source, and trustworthy, right? Trustworthy to differentiate from the self-reported records that's currently being used across the job market, resumes, profiles, and so on. Trustworthy Internet of Careers, right? And the effort has been answering the question: what if we could turn education and career records into private, interoperable, immutable, and verifiable, hence trusted, digital credentials that will be consolidated and held by the individuals? The way it's working is that Velocity Network is a purpose-built protocol and underlying infrastructure that is completely public, same as the internet. This is why we call it the Internet of Careers, that enables individuals that use any type of wallet, as we call it, that adheres to the standards in the protocol, to connect with any issuer that uses a software vendor that adheres to the protocol, and that issuer can then issue the credential to the individual, signing this credential with its private keys, and also write a cryptographic proofs to the distributed trust ledger that is the underlying infrastructure of this framework. The individual can then claim those credentials, stack those credentials as they go from multiple issuers using the same standard, the same format, the same protocol, store them privately, and then share them with any relying party that adheres to the same protocol. That relying party, in order to verify those credentials, can tap the trust ledger, grab those verification keys, match them to the credential that has been presented by the individual, and make sure that the credential is valid, was not tampered with, came from a legitimate source, and so on and so forth. Essentially, what we've built is the great transformer of the job market we've all been waiting for, right? It enables us to verify education and career credentials in seconds, not weeks. It's about people's right to own their career reputation, access better career opportunities, and maintain complete privacy when navigating their careers. Because in the world of work, it's extremely important that the verification of the individual's credential will not involve their current employer or anyone that can jeopardize their work security as they want to navigate their careers. So privacy is kept at all times. For relying parties like employment, like employers, like recruiters, even financial services that use employment records and education records as data points to assess financial risk. For those, instead of waiting weeks to verify the individual's data points about their education, about their career, about the certification, about their license, for them, it enables instantly to verify career education credentials of applicants, students, employees, freelancers, and even consumers when it comes to financial services. So the value to the world, the value to the industry, the value to individuals, the value to businesses and organizations is incredible. And that is the work that we're doing at the Velocity Network Foundation. As I said, what we've built is an open source public infrastructure that solve these challenges of global interoperability, portability, and compliance. It means that we have a single industry standard and underlying infrastructure that serves as the conduit for career education related data transactions. And any vendor as such as Sertifier that integrate into that protocol and build the right connectors will be able to issue to your constituents be it students, employees, alumni, verifiable credentials that are interoperable across the labor market with any other vendor that uses the same protocol. And as you could see from the list of 75 vendors, most of the industry has rallied behind this protocol and using this protocol. So any vendor that uses this protocol will achieve global interoperability and portability for the individual. And when we say that, we mean not only technical interoperability, whereby the credentials may be processed by any relying party system, but also the syntax and the semantics of the credentials are standardized so that the receiving side will be able to make sense of them, understand their value, and so on and so forth. And also the compliance is achieved through a robust compliance framework that is shared between all these vendors, making this protocol compliant to privacy regulations and employment regulations in most prominent jurisdictions. This is not a vision. This is a reality. Velocity Mainnet, which is the working underlying infrastructure, that Internet of Careers that we referred to, has been deployed after 4 years of collaborative work between all these organizations that we've seen on screen. And it's already making waves in the HR tech and the ed tech industry. We have numerous organizations, including universities, employers, training vendors, already issued over 1.3 million credentials in a matter of few months to their constituents, attesting to their qualifications. Those are now held by the individuals, and when they share them, those credentials have the utility value that that was promised. Those credentials can be shared with relying party like employers and recruiters, be processed by their systems, be processed and comprehended by their data systems, and therefore enable the portability, the interoperability, and the utility that we needed to enable the individual. There are more than 700,000 individuals already using a Velocity Career Credential wallet. There are a few, and Sertifier is one of the leading vendors to make this transition and to change their underlying protocol for issuing credentials to the Velocity Network protocol. What Arda will present is the verified wallet, which is essentially where individuals can hold not only credentials issued by users, by organizations using Sertifier, but that wallet will also enable individuals to curate and stack credentials coming from any other source that uses the same protocol, which is part of the single wallet principle that we've followed. One last thing: everything is open source. Everything is governed by the public, same as the internet, through the Velocity Network Foundation. As I said, it's the most ambitious and most disruptive endeavor ever undertaken collaboratively by labor market stakeholders. And the only thing I'm left with is to invite you to join us as we move to change the world of work. Thank you, and back to you, Arda.
Well, thank you, Dror. Thank you so much for this enlightening presentation, and thank you for bringing all the details about Velocity. We are glad to be a part of this network firstly, because it's obvious that it's not just the velocity that names the company and the network and the foundation as a whole, but the velocity to transform all of the credentials entirely, to not legitimize them, to create some sort of validity or interoperability. But at the end of the day, as you mentioned, before velocity, before the infrastructure that is provided as an open source, all of the credentials in a PDF format or a digital format that can be verified with some unique serial numbers, the worth of those credentials meant nothing in the past. But now, with the interoperable solution that is provided with a vast network and the creation of the single wallet, it's going to provide an essential source of information for the employers, for the academicians, and everyone, and foremost the individuals who are going to apply for any type of opportunity as a career roadmap opportunity or as an employment opportunity that would transform the whole world entirely at the end of the day. Thank you. Let me share my screen once again, and let's move on with the detailed parts. Once again, thank you, Dror, for that insightful and forward-thinking presentation. It is clear that the Velocity Network Foundation is playing a pivotal role and in shaping the future of digital credentialing. And building on what Dror has shared, let's explore how Sertifier, in collaboration with the Velocity Network, is contributing to this revolutionary change. At Sertifier, we are not just observers of this transformation. We are active participants and innovators as well. Our mission at Sertifier is to empower individuals and organizations, of course, by simplifying the management and verification of these digital credentials. This is where our verified wallet comes into play. Verified is not just a digital wallet, it's a comprehensive solution that aligns perfectly with Velocity Network's vision. Verified serves two pivotal roles. Firstly, as a secure wall for your digital credentials, ensuring their safety and integrity, of course. Secondly, it acts as a gateway to a vast network of credential providers, thanks to our partnership with Velocity, as mentioned. This integration transforms Verified into your ultimate credential wallet, and it's a single, unified place where you can claim, store, and manage your credentials from a wide array of sources. Moreover, Verified simplifies the way you share your credentials, whether it's applying for a job opportunity, as I mentioned, or any other credential-related opportunity. Verified streamlines this process, making it efficient and secure, thanks to Velocity. And in just a few minutes, we will delve deeper into Verified with a live demo. But first, let's open the floor for a quick Q&A session. Feel free to ask any questions, dear attendees, about what we have just covered, especially. And thank you for those insights into the Verified wallet and its integration with the Velocity Network. Now, we are directly moving into one of the most interactive parts of our webinar, as expected, the Q&A and fireside session directly. This is your opportunity to delve deeper into the topics we have discussed. I encourage you to ask questions that have sparked your curiosity as a whole. Dror, I know that you already covered this, but this is my personal question firstly. Can you elaborate on how the Velocity Network benefits from integrating with platforms like Verified? What does this mean for the expansion and utility of this network? What is our goal at the end of the day when we reach not just millions, but maybe billions one day? What is the vision that sparks behind the roadmap of Velocity? What are we seeing? What are we going to see Velocity as a whole in 5 years from now, let's say?
So Velocity, as I said, is a purpose-built protocol for issuing and verifying credential that is now the standard for this type of transactions across the tech stack that underlies the global education and employment market. What it means in simple word is that that every vendor for software that automates either education processes or employment processes, once they have integrated into the protocol and embed the standards of the velocity network protocol into their core product, they can offer their users seamless issuing and verification functionalities into this interoperable framework. As you can see, the majority of the participating organizations in the Velocity Network Foundation are vendors of software, to the incumbents that lead the market of workforce management software and education software. Those have been working for the past 2 years on transitioning into this new framework that is shared across the industry, creating the critical mass that is required to kickstart the flywheel and the network effect around using this protocol. I should say that Sertifier is the first credentialing platform that has concluded this process. And not only the credentials issued by Sertifier are adhered to the standards and protocol of the Velocity Network and hence interoperable across other vendors in the labor market used by the relying parties, such as employers and recruiters and other education institutions. But also, Sertifier has gone one step ahead and built this comprehensive wallet that will serve the individual stacking credentials issued by Sertifier, but also claiming credentials issued by any other system, any other primary source, using any other system, which is a huge value proposition to your constituents, the participants in this webinar.
Agreed. So, but by fulfilling the duty of creating the single wallet, in this case, Verified is one of the wallets that is infrastructurally like supported by Velocity. There will be other wallets, of course, but the language barrier is not implemented or existing anymore because they communicate with the same language. So any type of credential can be transferred in between those credentials, the credential wallet holders, and of course the wallets. So entirely those wallets can be used any type of scenarios. Regarding those scenarios, one of our attendees asked this question, Dror. I can answer this question on our side. We have some case scenarios, but at the same time, let me ask you this, because you have this vast experience about some different use cases, and you already implemented some different use cases when it gets to the verification of these credentials, especially in the healthcare industry. So in the context of individuals, you emphasize utility, ownership, and portability. How specifically does the integration with Velocity enhance the utility of credentials for users? Can you provide examples, in this case, the scenarios I just mentioned, where users will experience this increased utility?
Do you want me to answer this?
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah. So as I said, the fragmented nature of the world of work and education creates huge challenges for the individuals as they stack their proofs of their achievements and qualification, because the journey starts with school, and I would like to curate my school's diploma. I may go to a university afterwards, and I would like to curate and stack my education transcript. Then I go and maybe earn a certification of some sort, again from a different source. Then I go to and then I land my first employment, and I want that to be added to my achievements throughout that employment process. I go through internal training. I demonstrate skills, I demonstrate capabilities, and I want all this to be added to my portfolio. Then I move to another employer, to another employer. In the meantime, I'm taking more courses and so on. All this has to be unified for the individual into a single wallet where they store all these credentials, store all these proofs of their qualification, and not only that, but also enable them to share those credentials with any type of relying party across the globe, right? Any employer, any recruiter, any maybe licensed issuer that requires some prerequisites for the license and so on and so forth. So we need a single standard where everybody would understand each other, right? And when it comes to technology, that standard is the lowest layer of the tech stack that enable automation in the space of jobs and education. It's kind of like the TCP/IP, right? It doesn't matter which browser you use. It doesn't matter which website you go. Everybody's using the same protocol, and therefore everybody can understand each other. So that's the TCP/IP of the job market in the education market. The benefit for the individual is moving from a world where each issuer of credentials is issuing under a different standard, using different technology. In the good case, many of them don't use technology at all. The individual don't have a single place where they can store those certificates. And when they want to submit those certificates to basically represent their qualifications and skills and so on, the receiving side have no way to process these digital files because they were all using proprietary standards and technologies. So that's one key benefit. The other key benefit is that when the individual present credentials issued under the Velocity protocol, and the relying party received those credentials and want to verify them, the verification never phones home to the original issuer. So their privacy is kept at all time. If an employer issued me an employment record, and then I present that employment record to a prospective employer or to a recruiter, that recruiter can verify those credentials without the protocol requiring them to connect to the original source, to connect to the systems of the employer. And this is extremely important for the individuals. Essentially, the individuals own their career credentials for the first time, and they can navigate their careers without relying on any source of verification other than the protocol and the public underlying infrastructure. So that is a huge benefit as well, especially in a world where 5% of universities in the US close their doors every year, and employers go out of business, and training vendors go out of business. And when I'm unable to basically curate and hold my credentials separately from those original issuers, then once those issuers are gone, my ability to prove my qualifications without with rigorous methodologies of verification, because a PDF or something like that can always be suspected to be fraudulent. So my ability to do that makes those credentials and make those achievements mine for the first time, undependent on any third party.
Agreed. Thank you. I guess this definitely covered up some of the other questions that has been asked, so I answered some of them directly and closed them. I guess due to the terminology, we need to have some explanation. We have this question from Elvina asking, please explain the difference between a digital portfolio and a digital credential wallet. Well,
It's my bad. No, it's my bad. I'm just using different names for the same thing. Credential wallet is basically has the same function as your wallet, right? You have your driver's license, you have your ID there. It's just one place where you can have all these cards. A credential wallet is just a name for a family of applications that enable individuals to stack those credentials received from multiple sources and be able to share those credentials with any relying party that is asking for proofs of their qualifications.
Exactly. Thank you, Dror. I guess once an individual or an institution as a whole participates within the network, they will get used to a great number of different terminology within the network, because there are some new nuances. The same with an added value, so they will get used to those terminology. And in the meantime, due to time limitation, and since we have some questions already answered during your presentation or are going to be answered during my presentation for the demo, let me close this Q&A and fireside session. Thank you all for your insightful questions and the engaging discussions in our Q&A session. It is clear that the integration of Sertifier with the Velocity network and the capabilities of Verified are not just innovations, but essential tools in the evolving landscape of digital credentialing. We have covered significant ground discussing the challenges and the solutions in digital credential management and the transformative role of technologies like Verified and Velocity Network. This dialogue underscores our commitment to advancing the field and empowering users with reliable, efficient, and secure credentialing solutions. Thank you, Dror, for having the time. Thank you for your participation. Thank you for the detailed, insightful presentation of yours. Let me briefly remind the whole attendees today. I know that there are some customers of ours of Sertifier. I know that there are potential customers of Sertifier, and I know that there are some potential network members attended today's meeting, or they will be hearing from us. So thank you so much, Dror, for all of your contribution. Do you want to lastly add some additional comment or leave some remarks?
No, I just want to say that this has been the most amazing journey, and the fact that the industry as a whole, fierce competitors for one another, came together to agree on a single shared protocol and public utility layer is just mind-blowing to me. And I urge you to make sure that your vendors, including Sertifier, is adhering to this protocol and providing the service that they should have to you and to your constituents. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the encouraging speech and also the suggestion. Please feel free to stay with us, Dror. In a minute, I will be demoing the Verified wallet. So dear guests, part 2 of our webinar is titled Verified, the Digital Credential Wallet. In this segment, we will dive deeper into the functionalities of Verified. You will get to see how it simplifies the management and sharing of digital credentials, making it a game changer in the professional world. We will start with an overview of what Verified is and how it works. Then we will navigate through the Verified wallet, showing you step by step how to set up an account, disclose and share credentials, and address some frequently asked questions. And to give you a real feel of the platform, we will walk you through a live demo of Verified. This will not only illustrate its ease of use, but also showcase its powerful features in action. So stay tuned for an insightful and practical demonstration that could revolutionize the way you manage your professional credentials. Let's start by addressing the core question. What exactly is Verified? Verified is not just a digital wallet. It's a comprehensive platform designed for the modern professional. It is where you can securely store, manage, and share your digital credentials, from academic certificates to professional licenses. Now, how does Verified work? It is simple yet powerful. Verified leverages blockchain technology to ensure the security and authenticity of your credentials. This means every credential stored in Verified is tamper-proof and easily verifiable by employers, educational institutions, or any entity that requires proof of your qualifications. Why use a carrier wallet like Verified? In today's fast-paced and digitally connected world, managing your professional credentials can be challenging, I know. Verify simplifies this process, giving you control over your credentials and how you share them, thus opening doors to a new opportunities and streamlining your professional journey. Now we will be moving on with the live demo of Verified platform. Bear in mind this fact, dear attendees, this is going to be a live demo. We just launched the landing page for the new application only 2 hours ago. There could be minimal issues while showcasing you the whole application as a whole. I know, hopefully, fingers crossed, we won't be facing any type of bugs or problems, but in general, a minor heads up, if you see any type of issue, please report it to us, because feedbacks are more than welcome when we feel as a startup try to develop and progress further with the feedback provided by the partners, by the customers, and all of the friends out there. So I know that some of our developers are right now watching this live. They're, I guess, on guard, trying to see any type of problem we might see. But let's see what we are going to face. So as a whole journey, I need to start this from the beginning. Verified as a credential wallet allows you to create all of your credentials provided by Sertifier or credential issuers, any type third-party credential issuer that is a member of Velocity Network and use another vendor, it wouldn't matter. But to showcase you a sample demo, I will firstly show you Sertifier application as a whole, a step-by-step, but with a minimalistic showcase demo. And then I will show you the capabilities and the new added features within Verified Wallet. You're seeing the dashboard of Sertifier application. Some of our customers, I know they're live and attendees right now within this webinar, they're already used to this dashboard. Within this dashboard, they can send badges, certificates, diplomas, degrees to their attendees, to their students, to their alumni. So I already shared and distributed a credential before this demo for the sake of time. But in order to fulfill your queries, let me show you a quick and brief demo. Here is my credential that I already created within Sertifier. If you want to issue a credential using Sertifier to Verified Wallet on Velocity Network, you can use this dashboard to create your credential campaign. In order to create a credential campaign, we need 4 elements to provide this credential: the details, the design, the email content, and of course, the recipients. Once you enter all of the details regarding your credential, and those credentials are being the time, the level, the expiration date, or the skills, or the earning criteria for any type of credential. Once you fulfill the detail side, then you will get to see the design part, in which you will have a drag and drop designer where you can use our own designer, our own templates to create your design. And here you can see the designer within Sertifier application to design your own credential or upload your own branding with your existing credential designs, or you can use your pre-existing design, which I'm about to do with this credential distribution, which I already created for the sake of time. And of course, for the email, you can always create your own email to notify your recipients for their credentials. You can always customize this email notification using Sertifier application. Within this demo, I will be sending this template to notify my recipient, in this case, myself, in order to complete this demo. And I can embed any type of additional information into the notification email. Once I do this, I will lastly enter the names and the emails of the recipients, which I already did for this campaign. And once I'm ready to distribute my credentials, I will hit send and the distribution will begin. Once the distribution begins, we will get to the analytics part and understand the status of our credential. And this part will be finalized with the notification of the recipient. Once the recipient gets their credential, they will get a notification via their email, and I will be opening up my email right for you. Here you can see the credential notification and all of the details that are already embedded to my credential. All of the details, all of the earning criteria, the background information, and all of the contact information that is already provided by the issuer can be received, can be directly interconnected with the email notification. Once I hit view my credential or claim my credential, it takes us to our new application with this new branding, Verified. Verified with its new branding is powered by Velocity Network Foundation with its new core features. Now you get to have this opportunity to claim your credential not only from Sertifier, but also from third parties who are issuing via Velocity Network. And also you can disclose your credentials securely with a tamper-proof infrastructure. And of course, you can get this verification of your credentials by third parties, by potential employers, or any decision makers about your credentials who want to verify your credentials. And you will get to see a full report, a detailed report of your credential once they verify your credentials, which I'm about to do in a second. Here you can see the sample badge I shared to my email address, which I'm about to claim using the same dashboard. I'm still within my verified account. Once I click on the badge, by the way, if I'm not quite sure about the details about the provided information here, once I verified myself individually, if there are any problems, any issues, I can contact with the issuer directly using the contact issuer button. So once I agree the terms and conditions to claim my credential, I hit claim credentials buttons, and voila, we have our credential that is claimed for our profile. And once I confirm this claiming sequence, it will take me to my profile. Here under my profile, I have a great number of credentials, as you might guess, but I have this credential that is just claimed and sent via Velocity Network using Sertifier. I have all of the information that is embedded into the credential since I'm already signed in. And if I want to basically congratulate myself and share this with my network on LinkedIn, I can share my credential on LinkedIn by hitting this button. Once I agree the terms and conditions, everything is related to GDPR, your consent within this flow entirely. So please have no worries about any type of data leaks or security. Once you hit share credential button, it will take you to this second page where you can either share on your profile or your feed, or you can do both. You can directly hit share on LinkedIn button. It will take you to your LinkedIn profile. Once you give consent and provide the connection between two applications, it will automatically take you to, once again, let me sign in to my profile and allow it. Since I already did this previously, it's going to again take me to the same page. It automatically shared the credential on my feed, but also it embedded the credential onto my profile. Here you can see. If I want to see the post that I already shared with my connections, there I can see it here. Ethan from Velocity Network already congratulated me and liked my post. I can provide any type of additional information while sharing this credential with my network. But of course, by just sharing this credential with the network on LinkedIn that I own, I can also provide disclosures for the third parties when I'm about to apply for a job opportunity or any type of credential verification that is needed for my wallet. So let me get back to the wallet that I own. As I already shared this credential, Now I want to share this credential with third parties by providing a URL. By using the URL, those third parties can easily verify the same credential. Let me create my disclosure to share my credential. Here you can see the disclosure screen. I want to disclose my latest badge that I received from Velocity contributed webinar that I right now attending. So disclose my detail. Here I will be providing the details about the credential that I'm about to share. So this is for the webinar credential. Credential disclosure. And I want to share this. You can always change the duration of your disclosure by altering it at any time or basically revoking it. So once you see that you're confident about the disclosure content, the duration, the title, and everything else, you hit the create closure button. Once you create the disclosure, you will get a unique QR code and a URL to share your disclosure with third parties, and third parties can use this URL to verify your credential. Here you can see on the screen the finalized summary of your disclosure. Let me take you to the verification page. I copied this disclosure link and I will paste it on a new tab. So within this tab, it will take me to the summary page of the disclosure. The third parties will see the whole profile of yours with the disclosure using this link. If they want to verify your credentials, they will basically click on verify credentials. Once the credential is verified, and voila, it's already verified. It's really fast and efficient. They can also get a disclosure report by clicking download report button. Once they download this report, it will take them to the summary report here. The summary report will provide them the essential information about the verification status of the credentials you shared. If you share your email address, that is also verified because it's an identity credential. And here you can see my credential that is shared via a disclosure link to a third party. And if the third party gets the disclosure report, they will get to see the details with all of the embedded information into the credential. Also, it is verification status. And as a whole, dear attendees, this is the summary of the verified application with its brand new feature set. By using verified, you can always create your new and to the point wallet, which is enhanced with its security features and, of course, abilities to create a vast network of your credentials. By creating a curation of your credentials, you can always stay up to date. And in times of need, when you need to, you can share your credentials if you want to with third parties. And of course, within the flow of verified, and those feature sets will be entertained in the upcoming webinars of Sertifier. We will be showcasing the other feature sets of Verified. Those features are going to be the claiming sequences via emails, via QR codes from third parties. So it wouldn't be only Certifier as the issuer of the credentials that you can claim via Verified. It can also be any type of third party and enlightened enrolled within Velocity Network. And of course, if you want to disclose those credentials based on request, the members within the network, the stakeholders within the network, they can request from you to share your credentials by sending you a notification, a request notification, and by approving this notification, you will get a chance to securely share your credentials with them, and they can get to have the verification instantly. So dream this. One day you will have this opportunity to apply for a job opportunity instantly, but also get this verification instantly. So it wouldn't take that much long for any type of employer, for any type of human resources department or a company institution to verify your background credentials, and you wouldn't lose any additional minute to curate your credentials that are essential to apply for any type of opportunity. I repeat the same case. I know a job opportunity, but think of this as with the driver's licenses, with everything else that is relevant to application as a whole. So let me get back to my presentation once again. Before finalizing this meeting, if you want to ask any questions, any final questions, I will be more than happy to answer those. Let me check the Q&A section once again. We have no additional questions for now. We have no additional problems that are shared or highlighted. So let me summarize and close this webinar. So as we draw this enlightening session to a close, I would like to take a moment to reflect on what we have shared and learned today on journey through the world of digital credentialing, especially with the integration of Sertifier and Velocity Network, marks a significant step forward in how we manage and perceive professional qualifications. Today, we have explored the transformative power of Verified, a tool that not only securely stores your credentials, but also seamlessly connects you to a vast network of standard and opportunities. We have seen how the Velocity Network amplifies this potential, creating a new standard in credential verification and sharing. The key takeaways from our discussions are clear. The future of credential management is digital, secure, and interconnected. With platforms like Verified and the support of Velocity Network, we are not just simplifying the process of credential management, we are empowering individuals and organizations to navigate their professional journeys with confidence and credibility. I want to extend my heartfelt thanks to each of you for joining us today. Your participation and of course, engagement have made this event not just successful, but truly meaningful. I also want to express my gratitude to Dror and the entire Velocity Network team for their invaluable insights and collaborations. As we part ways, I encourage you to stay connected with us. Explore how Sertifier and Verified can revolutionize your credentialing experience. Remember, this is just the beginning of a journey towards a more connected and verifiable professional world. For any further questions or to learn more about our solutions, please do not hesitate to reach out. You can find more information on our website, of course, and follow us on our social media channels, especially LinkedIn, for the latest updates. Of course, you can always follow me on LinkedIn and ping me via LinkedIn. I'm really active nowadays. So thank you once again for your time and participation. And here is to a future where your achievements are recognized and shared with the ease and security they deserve. Stay safe, stay connected, and keep innovating. Thank you.